조직끼리 모여서 한다는 게 이딴 시시한 회의라니. 대체 결전은 언제 하는 건데?
Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Mekamek, this is Limbus Company. I want to show off the new Identity Uptie stories. Unfortunately, I wasn't thinking and I bought Heathcliff off screen, so that's how you're going to see us getting him. A week has gone past, which means that I am free to do this.
용무가 있다면 조금 있다 오시죠. 칼날을 정돈하는 시간을 방해받고 싶진 않으니.
Cleanup being a pretty important part of the Kurokumo deck in the early and mid-game in Library of Ruina, I'd say. So yeah, I've gone over the stats that these characters have at Uptie 4, but how about a small look at what they are before you get to that point? As I said, Cleanup. It was a light restore skill. Inflict bleed and offense level down. Combat start, 2 other allies with the fastest speed gain damage up. If there are 6 Kurokumo allies, including this unit, apply 2 damage up instead. On hit, inflict 2 bleed, on hit, inflict 2 bleed count. 2 bleed count isn't going to last long, but I guess it'll be 3 bleed count if they didn't have bleed already. And Scattering Slash gives her 1 protection once per turn. It's no Mola Ishmael though. Uptie her and she goes from 3 to 4 speed to 3 to 5 speed. If the target has 6 plus bleed, gain coin power. So we go from 9 to 11. That's actually kind of decent. If target has 6 plus bleed, gain coin power. Going from a 15 to a 17. Nice. Apply 2 damage up once per turn or 3 damage up once per turn. Oh, if there are 6 plus Kurokumo clan units, including this one, apply 3 damage up to 5 allies. So that's basically everyone gets damage up when she uses Sharpened Blade. Inflicts Slash Fragility. It's same turn Slash Fragility though, so finagling her to have high speed isn't going to be easy. On hit, inflict 2 bleed count, we know that. On hit, gain Slash Power up next turn, which is actually nice. And her passive, Gathering Dark Clouds, 3 Lust Resonance. It's late. If there are 2 plus allied Kurokumo clan identities, including this unit, gain Dark Blade. Hang on. Allied, okay. Allied is an important keyword here. Combat start, apply 1 Dark Cloud Blade to Kurokumo clan identities adjacent to this unit on the dashboard. Alright, this raises her min and max speed, so she rolls 4 to 6. That's about the same speed as a tank, I think? It's sort of around the Dicey Rhodian level. She's rarely going to be the slowest, but she's also rarely going to be the fastest. Ink Over, her signature skill, although technically it wasn't signature, it wasn't locked to Seo, but it was one of the earliest 4-cost attacks you could get, and quite memorable. If target has 6 plus bleed, gain 1 coin power. So we go from a 16 to a 19. Mind you, after 3 coins worth, you might not have that bleed by the time you hit it. Inflict 2 bleed count, inflict 3 bleed, activate bleed on the target 3 times, then reduce bleed count by 3. So even if there is bleed on the target already, it's going to go count negative, and that's unfortunate. Cleanup. gains coin power, huh? So it goes from 9 to 11, and then 13 if you activate the conditional. Sharpened blade gains base power. So that would be what? 16, then 18. And add her support passive, fastest ally inflicts +1 more bleed. It doesn't say anything about unique bleed or bleed count though.
흑운의 34대 부조장 이스마엘. 당신의 결전 신청 받아들이죠.
Captain, about the my deepest apologies. I didn't realize you were cleaning the Kurokumo. Don't worry about it. You must have had something important to report. If you don't, I suppose I might delay cleaning my blade until later. Ooh, that's actually a very subtle threat. I'm not going to finish cleaning my blade until I'm sure I don't have to skewer you with it. Or slash and slice you open, I guess, is more accurate. It's about the library! The library, ma'am! You just saved your life. I was kidding, of course. I didn't have very high expectations anyway, but there was nothing new about our former captain this time, either. When we first heard the news of her disappearance, we were wondering if she'd pissed the wrong couple of the thumb or something. We'd always get worried about her whenever she had to interact with the thumb, given her a very distinct lack of filters. But when we heard from the thumb that she hadn't stopped by to pay our tributes, we realized she'd been done in by that library. Oh, so Ishmael isn't Sayo. Ishmael is her successor. Captain, the entire city must know about the library by now. It's not like the Kurokumo clans should be short on people in the case. But we haven't been able to hear a peep about the library. What if it's just a rumor? Are you implying that the former captain has abandoned our syndicate? I suppose that could also be an explanation. She's not the kind of person to go quietly in some ditch. I can't think of any other reason she might disappear like this without a trace. We did hear that the site of the former Elcor has suddenly turned into an empty lot, but that is quite the ridiculous news as well. Captain, I understand it hasn't been too long since the Sakuzuki ceremony, but it's not exactly rare for someone to just disappear like that, especially in our line of work. I'm just as confused as you are as to how this happened, but you must steel yourself for our syndicate. But I can't stop the search now. While I will take your words into account, But you are our captain now! My blade is still slick with blood. I wonder if I can get some more use out of it before I'll have to clean it fully. Allow me to excuse myself! Well, I did think that this position would be mine if it were to ever become vacant for whatever reason. But I didn't think it would happen this soon. Or this abruptly, for that matter. No instructions on what to do, what my responsibilities are, nothing. When I walked into this room after that hasty and chaotic succession ceremony, this blade alone, marked with 4 characters signifying the 34th, greeted me. I did sort of look forward to receiving this blade, wondering if I'd be bestowed with one once I rose through the ranks, but now that I have it in my hands, just feels like a burdensome sense of duty, especially without knowing what I'm supposed to be doing here. Part of me thinks that I'm going to have to find a new nickname for Picard Captain Ishmael, because I've just been calling her Captain Ishmael, but now she has another Captain ID. But I'm pretty sure whenever I say Captain, people always think of the Picard Captain. And if I want to talk about this Ishmael, I'll say Kurokumo. Or double K. I was curious to learn more about the dark and ruthless world of the syndicates that low-ranked underlings could never dream of accessing, but all I'm doing every day is just staring into documents like I'm a middle manager of an office. If only some disaster would happen so I can get some fresh air. Oh. The desk calendar came into focus as I sat there, staring blankly at it as my right arm restlessly relented the lack of action. The gathering of the Thumb subsidiaries was in 3 days. Looks like I'll at least get to see some blood soon. I can't help but grin a little at this news. I suppose I'm not in a syndicate for nothing. The thrill of battle, the feeling of swinging my blade in a fight, is my only outlet for my frustrations. 3 days later. Captain. Didn't you get all giddy and reward yourself another layer of enhancement tattoos when I became a captain? How come they've already reduced you to this bloodied pile of raggedy flesh, Heathcliff? That was a shitload of them. I did quite alright considering the odds, didn't I? This same guy who's presently giving me the start gave me a 90 degree bow when he first joined the syndicate, going on and on about how he'll always worship me as a superior. Oh, are we past giving a shit about respect now? This is hardly the time to be facetious. Yeah, whatever you say. If I zipped up and acted all serious, you would have scolded me for trying too hard to look cool. True. Just the same old ass, ain't ya? I heard him falling and planting his face to the floor, but I don't turn around. I don't look back. He might be a dumbass, but he's one tough bastard. So, as his captain, in return for his services... What, did you think that you no-name rabbles could surpass the Kurokumo clan by making an alliance? I suppose I have to make sure my underlings' efforts weren't for nothing. They did clear a path to their syndicate boss against such overwhelming odds. Listen, at the end of the day, we're all just dogs eating from the same bowl the Thumb tosses us. We never wanted things to come to this. But you brought this upon yourselves. You just couldn't resist hoarding all that territory, huh? You said so back at the gathering. Fuck off. You've been jumping at every opportunity to bury me. You're captain, girl. We've already drawn our swords, haven't we? Let's not waste any more time. It's tradition in this line of business, after all. The showdown. Aren't showdowns supposed to be 1 versus 1 duels between the heads of syndicates? Oh, you bet it's going to be 1 versus 1, alright. It's going to be 3 consecutive duels, that's what. Yeah, I had a feeling that's what you were going for. Oh well. Come on. I'll take all 3 of you at once. Let's get this shit over with. You little fuck. Alright, are we having a showdown or are you packing for a picnic? Let's go. Let's start already, so I can cut off your tongue first thing. Ah yes. My name is Ishmael, 34th captain of the Kurokumo clan, and I accept your showdown challenge. This is what I was born for. I remember one fun piece of fan art of Heathcliff being totally okay with the open chest, but when he sees where is he? But when he sees this cleavage window on Honglu, he immediately buckles it up. I don't know, that was kind of a weird double standard to me. And we have our Kurokumo clan Wakashu Heathcliff. So, Lenticular End 3+3, gain defense power up next turn. Yeah, the Kurokumo clan Heathcliff was well, the identity that he's based off, I'm pretty sure, was the source of a lot of defensive style stuff. Although he still made people suffer with bleed. Inflict bleed, inflict bleed, inflict defense, inflict offense level down. Inflict bleed, inflict bleed count, inflict attack power down once per turn. So he kind of wants to go first, and it looks like he's going to have a bit of a swingy speed range. Also, +3 defense level. This guy also feels like a tank. And then rule of the backstreets. If the captain is on the field, activate the following. Convert all coins into unbreakable coins. Final power +3 to the skill on Clash Lose. Actually, wait, let me see that number. Honestly, it might actually be worth using early on, because an unbreakable +3 on Clash Lose. I mean, if he wins, he gets SP. If he loses, then he hits them almost as hard as he would have anyway. If this unit has Cumulus Wall, unconditionally activate all reuse effects. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he gets Cumulus Wall from anything here. Inflict 2 bleed. If this unit has Dark Cloud Blade, reuse the coin. If this unit has Battle Ready, reuse the coin. Once per skill. So it does. I think that means that it'll reuse for every time you get these. I'm not entirely sure. Okay, so uptie him. And we increase our minimum speed range 3 to 6. Lenticular Rend gains a coin power bonus, so it goes from 9 to 11 at max. If target has 6+ bleed, coin power +1. So that's 3 + 6. 15 or 17. And inflict slash fragility, but only on heads hit. At 3 Lust Resonance, when there are 2+ allied Kurokumo clan identities on the field, including this one, gain Dark Cloud Blade. Against enemies that use this turn, use defense skills, or have maximum HP, deal more damage. If an enemy attacks another ally with a skill and dealt damage, using an unopposed attack against the attacker with skill 1 once per turn. Okay, so increases max range, so he rolls 3 to 7. He can be faster than Ishmael, but he can also be slower. Get his skill 3. 4 + 4, that's a 16 at max, but throw in the extra coin power and it becomes 19. Here's the Cumulus Wall that his defensive skill needs. Defense power up next turn. Inflict bleed. Inflict slash fragility. Inflict more damage for every type of negative effect on the target. Interesting. Oh, and give 6 bleed. I'm sorry, it is actually very late. And wow, it gets a +5 on offense level. I didn't look. Lenticular Rend. Target is 6+ bleed, coin power +1. Gain defense power, so this just throws up the coin power. So it goes from being a 9 to an 11 by default and a 13 at max power. Increase the base power, so we get a 16 at default and an 18 at max coin power. Oh, also, if he learns this skill first, or this skill first, then he does do nice things.
또 덤비고 싶은 놈 없지?
What a mess. When one thinks of an assembly, their brain might conjure the image of a forum for discussion, a place to hash out each other's differences with words. But that is a rare sight in this city. There's no need to look very far for an example. This child is sitting in one. Let's get one thing straight. It's the type of family's fuck-ups that cause the local merchants to jump ship. Yes or no? Necomata Mafia? Interesting. Fundamentally speaking, the Kurokumo clan has responsibility to pay a greater share of the tribute we send. They're raking in with their protection business, aren't they? The Knots do not wish to be a part of this argument. My fault, your fault, you should pay more, no you should. People sitting in a room, hazy with cigarette stench, barking impractical, meaningless boasts at each other. People were very confused about why there's a Kurokumo clan Utus when she's already got a Blade Lineage ID. But then there's the very easily forgotten I killed my mentor line from Blade Lineage Utus, so maybe she was a traitor. The child looks at them with open exasperation. I am in agreement, but we are here in an official capacity. Don't be so rash in your speech. I doubt those sods can overhear us over that bloody racket. How did it come to this? If you're so mad about it, go tell him yourself. Have you forgotten an overwhelming majority of the syndicates that have gathered here are the Thumb's subsidiaries? I am but a Wakashu. I am in no place to talk unless someone were to bestow me with the proper authority. It seems that even Captain Ishmael is unwilling to join the cacophony. The Kurokumo clan, the syndicate the child was a part of, was not exactly in a great position among those present. The Patriarch had, after an unfortunate incident, excused himself for a moment, and the former captain who entered the library was never heard from again. The only one with any degree of authority left was the newly and hastily appointed captain. Though she was technically the acting head of the syndicate, an authority given by the Patriarch, it was inevitable that other syndicates would look down on them. Well, I'm sure the lass can handle this. Your faith in Captain seems to have grown since the last time we met. You seem to be bickering endlessly with her at the last assembly. Can't say I'm on good terms with her even now, but going out for drinks together helps mend some things, build rapport, and what have you. It's a bit of a solidarity, isn't it? We've both wandered for a while before joining the syndicate, both have right bad bastards to get back at. See the picture? But I suppose that's no longer true now that she outranks you. Couldn't you have been a tad nicer about that jab? Oh well, she does deserve to be up there. It kind of feels like he should be a 2-star, but I guess, I think they're starting to phase out 2-star identities. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I remember making a promise with myself that I'd go back there as a successful man of quality, but now I'm not so sure. What was I doing all this for anyway? Why even go back? Clear all Kathy. Someone once told me that only people with a clearly defined goal get to the top, like the lass. Seems like a sensible sort, this someone of yours. Yeah, Bossman Matteo. Used to rely on him back at T-Core. The assembly's breaking, I think. Looks like we're just going in circles. Let's reconvene tomorrow. Agreed. We'll never come to an agreement at this rate. Seconded. Heathcliff? Huh? Was it? Whispering all of a sudden? Make sure that the boys and girls stay on high alert tonight. Something's brewing. You serious, lass? There've got to be a screw loose in their head to attack the Kurokumo clan on our own turf. I got this feeling from the conversation that they're trying to hone in on one of our businesses. Besides, they asked me where we were staying multiple times. These crazy bastards. Fine, let them try. I'll tear their heads from their... It's just a suspicion at the moment. Don't get too worked up yet. Anyways, I'm trusting you with this, okay? Some time passes. Dark clouds shroud the moon in shadow. The child's suspicions had been true. A few suspicious figures quietly stepped into the child's bedroom. They loomed over him for a moment before unsheathing their blades and stabbed, aiming straight for the child's untattooed neck. She weren't kidding. The blade could not break his skin. Black tattoos, drawn over various parts of his body, quickly crowded around his neck like tufts of smoke. And the sword, clashing with the tattoo, slid off harmlessly. This ain't the first time, but blimey, that wasn't the end of it, yeah? What the hell? What is that? Kurokumo clan tattoos, lads. Your little knives won't work. Or do you not have these where you're from? The child's own blade flashed in the dark and struck the assassins in the neck, felling him to the ground. I guess that's why he's a particularly tanky identity. As soon as their death was confirmed, the child leaped from his bed and joined the others in the streets. There. Weren't you the one who warned us to stay alert? How come you're the last to join us? What's luring him there? I don't want to hear you nagging about. Never mind. Anyways, just how many of them are there? More than we expected. More syndicates were in on this alliance than we thought. Various syndicates had gathered in the streets to challenge the Kurokumo clan. Underestimating the Kurokumo clan, eh? Bastards. The captain will be here soon. We just have to hold out until she... Nope. Holding out ain't like the captain. We'll fight our way through them. I bet they're planning to go for the showdown with her anyway. The showdown. Syndicates of the eastern region often employed this tradition when making important decisions. Of course, losing or refusing did not result in the consequences of any official capacity. In the eastern part of the city, where showdowns had become a part of the culture. In a way, defeat often meant the morale of allies would be severely dampened. And as morale was quite an important element in battles, with high head counts. Looks like we're gonna have to pave the way for her to accept their boss's challenge. The child rushed forward, blade in hand. Weaker attacks glanced off his enhancement tattoos. So he focused on furiously cutting down the endless swarm of enemies. But his powerful charge eventually came to a grinding halt. The enemy syndicate's boss had blocked his path. Gah! The child fought to the best of his abilities, but after having cut through countless enemies, he was exhausted. 1, 2, 3. The child's form began to break with each clash. And when even the enhancement tattoos couldn't block their onslaught, the child fell to his knees. Shite. I'm almost there. And that's when... Why didn't you wait? Just look at you. You're a mess. Light footsteps approached from behind him. Oi, Captain. There was a shitload of them. I did quite alright considering the odds, didn't I? Oh, are we past giving a shit about respect now? This is hardly the time to be facetious. Yeah, whatever you say. If I zipped up and acted all serious, you would have scolded me for trying too hard to look cool. True. Just the same old ass, ain't ya? His vision began to grow faint like gathering clouds under a clear sky. But her voice was coming through clear. My name is Ishmael, 34th captain of the Kurokumo clan. She had never lost a fight, she began with that line. The child grinned with relief even as he felt his consciousness leave. Is he unconscious or actually dead? It's hard to tell. Anyway, we do actually have a lot of Heathcliff shards, so we can do this. And we have a decent number of these. So why not have some little fun?
내가
드디어 내 차례냐?
잘 됐네.
못 쳐주게!
이 정도로 나와 겁을 맞대?
She just exploded him with a single attack, didn't she?
못 쳐주게!
이 정도로 나와 겁을 맞대? 이 정도로 나와 겁을
Right, because slash weakness. Whoops.
다시 이 정도로 나와 겁을 맞대?
놈 나와! 놈 나와!
Not much of a display, but it is still funny to watch. Anyway,
싱겁네요. 윗대가리가 죽었으니 이제 당신들도 우리 조직 밑에서 구르게 되겠죠. 식구 취급을 해주진 않으니 알아서 기세요.
so yeah, with that fun shown off, until next time guys, take care, I'll see you all around.
좀이 다 쑤시네. 큰 건이 아니면 밖에 나가서 칼 쓸 일도 많지 않고 아래 애들이 잘하고 다니는지도 신경 쓰이고. 옛날이 좋았는데 깝죽거리는 놈들 혓바닥을 잘라버릴 때